thanks so much for joining us. The Democratic Party is suing the Trump campaign, Russia, and WikiLeaks. The multi-million-dollar suit claims those entities and others conspired to disrupt the 2016 U.S. presidential election. According to the DNC, top Trump campaign officials, including Donald Trump Jr., Paul Manafort, and Jared Kushner, conspired with the Kremlin and hacked Democratic Party computers. Also named in this suit is WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange and the hacker group known as Cusack 2.0. A lot to dig through here, and editor-in-chief of The Hill, Bob Cusack, is in Washington to help us do it. Bob, what do we make of this lawsuit, and what kind of damages is the DNC looking for?
Well, they're looking for punitive damages in basically money, and also I think more so, Brooke, is this is keeping the 2016 election, which we will just never get over, in the news. And obviously
it's already in the news, but my goodness.
Yeah, but even more so. And remember, Robert Mueller has indicted more than a dozen Russian operatives who were allegedly part of this. So, and it comes in the backdrop of protecting Democrats, and some Republicans want to protect Robert Mueller from getting fired. And I think we're going to see some findings, possibly more so this summer. We have the Paul Manafort trial coming up in July. So I think this is a move really to highlight this issue, to get the base, the Democratic base, to show up in 2018 in the fall.
It does, though, seem redundant to the Mueller investigation. So what is it trying to protect Mueller if he's let go? Or why is this necessary if we already have all these other investigations?
Yeah, I don't think this is necessary, and I think that it's something that the DNC, and I'm not a lawyer, so I can't say exactly where this is going to go in the courts, but at the same time, I don't think it's probably going to go far, at least until we get more findings from what actually happened from Robert Mueller. We've seen other investigations like the House Intelligence Committee. Republicans said there was no collusion. Of course, Democrats on that committee say that's wrong, and they had their own findings. So I think it's all just highlighting Robert Mueller, trying to keep him protected, and Democrats have said they want to protect him. They want to have legislation in Congress that would protect him from getting fired. But of course, Republicans are not going to bring that legislation to the floor because they control both the House and Senate floors.
And not that it's kumbaya in Congress, but do you expect this to make relations worse between Republicans and Democrats?
I think it's pretty polarizing right now, and certainly I think Republicans are going to roll their eyes at this lawsuit. But I also think it's Democrats have to be careful, because when you look at the polls, the economy and healthcare are top issues. This Russia investigation is not. So I think they have to be careful in not talking too much about Russia and talk about bread and butter issues. Something really is part of the reason they lost the 2016 election. They didn't talk about those issues enough, and they didn't have really a solid message.
So these Comey memos, last night they came out. Former FBI Director James Comey's, the memos that he wrote at the time he had these meetings with the now president-elect, even members of his staff. And they're a good read. If you haven't read them, they're online. Go read them. But from your read of them, what did you take from them? The president says they proved there was no collusion or obstruction. Other people see it differently.
I don't think this is a game changer, Brooke. I mean, this really corroborates what Jim Comey had said before publicly. There's more details of the conversations he had with the president regarding Putin, and conversations he had with then White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. Both sides, Democrats and Republicans, are touting, this proves that there was some pressure from Trump to Comey to let go of the Flynn, and then, of course, Trump and his allies saying this proves there's no collusion. And so I don't think there's any smoking gun here. It really is consistent with what Comey said before. Mm-hmm. Now, interestingly, in the memos, Comey says he's not a leaker. Of course, we know at this point he did have a friend leak these memos to the press, which led to the special counsel of Robert Mueller.
Yeah, Comey writing, "I don't do weaselly things. I don't leak." There would be debate.
Well, yes. He did it through a third party, so maybe that's his excuse.
We also learned, it is his excuse, it's a questionable excuse. We also learned yesterday that Rudy Giuliani is joining the president's legal team. How will he contribute, and what do you make of that?
Well, you know, there's been speculation and Giuliani suggesting he's trying to wrap up the Mueller investigation, and obviously Rudy and Trump go back a long way. Remember, Trump has had trouble getting high-profile attorneys. He's asked a number of them to join his team, and he badly needs some good legal advice. And he also, I think it's interesting, though, you have Giuliani and Mueller, who have worked in another lifetime decades ago in New York. Now, I think it's going to be interesting to see, will they restart conversations about whether Mueller is going to investigate Trump? That has really been put on the back burner since the raid of Michael Cohen's office and hotel room. So I think that's going to be something to watch, is will there be some dealing between Giuliani and Mueller? But as far as this investigation wrapping up anytime soon, that's just not happening.
Yeah, a week or two, Giuliani said, and that seemed hard to believe. Bob Cusack, thanks so much.